Who doesn't like freeze-dried Skittles? Well, if you're putting your Skittles in the freeze dryer and running your freeze dryer for a day or two, you're wasting your time and you're wasting energy. I'm going to show you why. For one, I don't think Skittles can be freeze-dried because I think that implies that Skittles have water. So, we're going to find out. I got 50 grams of Skittles right here. So, I'm just going to make a small little batch. I'm going to spread these around. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these in an oven on preheat, around say 170, 180 degrees, just to warm these Skittles up. Into the oven they go, and I have this set at 190 degrees. So the Skittles were in the oven for 5 minutes at 190 degrees. So from here, they're going into the freeze dryer. Now, just for the fun of it, I took the shelf out of the freeze dryer so you could see them better. Now from here we're going to go to the leaf, to the function test, and we're just going to turn on the vacuum. Okay, at this point we've reached 3 minutes and 1200 millitorr. Now, depending on how big you want your Skittles, depends on how long you leave the vacuum on them. The higher the vacuum, the longer the vacuum, the more it's going to pull the gooey center out from the inside of the Skittle, expand it, and crystallize it. So now we're going to turn off the vacuum. And we're going to release the valve. And we're going to pull them out of the freeze dryer. Here's our Skittles. So we're going to go ahead and put them back on the scale. Now we had 50 grams originally, and we're back to about 49 grams, but I do have a little bit of sugar and Skittles guts in here. So I'm back to 50 grams. So if you think that freeze drying involves sublimation, which is the removal of water, Skittles really can't be freeze dried because no water was removed. The weight of the Skittles remained. So what basically happens is the freeze dryer basically just heats the Skittles up to where the center of the Skittles becomes soft and almost to the point of being a liquid, and then the vacuum basically tears the Skittles apart. So here are the traditional Skittles. What I mean by traditional, about the traditional size of the Skittles. These were done 5 minutes at 190 degrees in my oven. And they look like the Skittles that people have been freeze drying for years and years. So I thought I'd kind of mix things up a little bit. So these Skittles were freeze dried for 20 minutes at 170 degrees. So more time, less heat. And I think what I was able to do, I was able to melt the inner core of the Skittle even more. To check these things out. Okay, so here's a comparison. Here's the one Skittle size, and here's the other Skittle size. It's about 3 times the size. So the middle of this one, the chewy center, so to speak, I think became a lot softer and was put under the vacuum forces. It really bubbled up. So I have these Skittles versus these Skittles, and they're a lot larger. Now, the larger Skittles here, these are a little bit more delicate. I mean, you can see that these things are just, they can just go to powder. So depending on how you like your Skittles, traditional or extra crispy, there you have it. So you really don't need to spend an entire freeze-dry cycle on doing freeze-dried Skittles. It only takes you 15-20 minutes to do this. Now, one other point about these, because these swell up so much, a lot of these stuck together. Like here's an orange and a yellow one. So if you're going to leave them in the oven a little bit longer, you're going to have to put less on a tray versus these Skittles, which kind of, you know, they stayed separated, where these kind of got joined together and kind of mutated. So there you go. Fun with Skittles without the weight.